Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
Always remember you can take us along with you. And also know that our shows are on YouTube as well if you want to catch any back shows. This is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, welcoming you to our program today and every Monday at 9 a.m. And my co-host,
Yes, indeed, folks. Mark Cummings. It's going to be a great show.
oh, absolutely. Just want to let you all know that this weekend there were so many things taking place. And over the weekend, we had the candidate Kamala Harris in Detroit and in Flint, and it was just so busy around here. And what was going on at the DIA, Mark?
Yes, indeed, folks. Had a good time. You see, I brought my press pass with me. We were down there in a press capacity for the American Leadership Conference in Detroit. Brother Al Williams, for folks who know in politics, doing a lot of great things in the community. And Tashana Gill.
Yeah.
Those two put together this 11 years ago, awards program to award people in the community who are doing great things, not just in politics, but in, community awareness
Yes.
and the like. So it was a really good show, and got to meet a lot of great people,
Yeah.
and a lot of dignitaries were there.
Yeah.
You, of course, they all had to come see Miss Broughton.
Yeah.
All the Congress people were there. They sat down with Miss Broughton, Rashida Tlaib, and
Yeah.
as well,
Sharif Canada.
Canada.
Right, right. And you know, I had not had an opportunity to see, Makalive, Talabi.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
She was there. So I'm looking forward to her being on the show with us sometime in the future.
Alberta Tinsley Talabi, for those of you who don't remember, she was a city council person,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she heads up Makalive program over there on the east side.
Right.
It's a lot of good stuff.
So I'm saying we're looking forward to her being with us one day, so that'll be a good thing. And it was just so much taking place, you know. And one announcement, I guess half of the city knows by now that the couple, they got engaged yesterday.
Oh, no, I don't know. Did they want everybody to know? Well, folks, we probably the first one to broadcast it, for sure. But, yes, during the program yesterday, the award ceremony down at the Detroit Institute of Arts, we were in the theater, and it kind of stunned everybody. And the sister, what's the sister's name? That's the Attorney General for New York.
James.
Letitia James.
James.
Letitia James was there. She was the keynote speaker. And she came out, and of course, you know how you sisters are. You like, come on out here, Al, and do your duty. So I guess that a lot of people didn't know they had planned for him to get on that one knee, folks, and propose to Mr. Shauna Gill. And they got engaged right there before the show and the festivities began, and it was quite a thing. She said, "Black love is important."
Yes. Yeah, that was very interesting. Oh boy,
It was quite a day.
It really
Miss
was.
Broughton, she's always moving and grooving.
No, I tell you, so many things taking place, and now we have to be concerned about this election. You know, 28 days, I believe, left, and you know, someone was saying that everyone needs to call family. There are those who are phone banking. There are those who are walking door to door. But have you thought about your family members, your parents, your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, nieces, nephews?
Cousins.
That's right, and your cousins, your family. You know, you think that because you are a conscientious resident, citizen, a voter, and you make sure that you either do your absentee or you go on the day of the election, which is November the 5th, that everybody else in the family follows suit. That's not necessarily true. And you know, in the last election, I had two friends, and I called them, and during the conversation, it must have been about maybe around 5, 6 o'clock or so. And I said, "Oh, wow, you vote today? Vote! Oh, no, I gotta go. Where you going?" I forgot. Okay. So on November the 5th, we don't want to hear somebody say, "I forgot," or I was so busy doing whatever. Just make sure that you nudge them, you know? And they just will run out and vote because they really do know the importance. And this year is more important than ever. And for anyone who doesn't know about the report, or I should say the playbook, 2025 refers to next year. 2025 is the name of the playbook. And 2025 has all of these devastating things that will happen to you, believe it or not, if you don't vote for the best candidate for president of the United States. And she has been flying across this country, going from state to state, city to city, letting people know the importance of not voting out the former president, Donald Trump. Must tell you that. You can go online and read the playbook 2025 and some of the things that are being said. Have you heard, Mark, where there was a presentation or conversation with police officers, and Donald Trump is telling them, you can take your cameras off your body so that if you beat somebody half to death, there will be no evidence of it.
Well, we don't expect anything less than foolishness from the candidate, Donald Trump. So I'm not surprised with that. But,
yes, but our young people need to be not surprised. They need to be shocked, you know, because they do get stopped when they haven't done anything. They do get harassed when they haven't done anything. So they need to be told about it, need to be warned about it. They need to sit their little butts down and read 2025 to become more familiar with what will happen to you next year.
Well, here's the big thing with the 2025 piece. First of all, for black people, we already know affirmative action been under assault for at least the last 30 years, maybe even 40. So, of course, since the Reagan era. They're pretty much going to get rid of all this DEI stuff. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's going out the window with 2025. So, and we know that DEI is really focused mainly on women. And that's the inclusion part. As black men, we know we ain't been included in much when it comes to the workplace.
Right.
Now, they want to get rid of the Department of Education. These are things they've been talking about for the last 30 years. They realize that they're running out of options. They're not going to get too many more shots at this presidency because the Republican Party then fell all apart and put all of their eggs in the Trump basket.
Yes.
And if he doesn't get in this time, they know They don't have any other new candidates to run the next 4 years. So this 2025 is what you would call your wish list to pretty much destroy this country. Really. You got the voter rights. They gonna get in there and try to federalize all of these state programs that say, look, we making it harder for you to vote. They gonna get rid of that. They want to get rid of the National Labor Relations Board. So if you're trying to start a union, forget about it. Okay, we getting rid of that. And I think that's the scariest thing, Ms. Broden, because at that awards ceremony yesterday, there was a large contingent of UAW members, United Auto Workers, and they got a lot of awards and they doing a lot of good things for labor. But the United Auto Workers needed to make the point that, unfortunately, their rank and file is split. Okay, 50% of these guys think Donald Trump is the answer. Okay, these are union members who know they want to get rid of unions. They do not side with unions, but Trump has blurred the line so much now that people think he's a populist president.
Jeez. That's so sad. Oh my God, not to know. That's why I keep saying read 2025 and you will see what he wants to do. He tries to pretend that he had nothing to do with that playbook. But the people involved with the playbook all had worked for him and with him. So for folks to think that he's actually telling the truth, when has he ever told the truth about anything? Other than he wants to be a dictator. Now, he did wave that in front of your face. And the first day one, I'm going to be a dictator, as if he's not going to continue being a dictator on the next days that he could be in office.
Well, that's what the people want. They claim that Donald Trump does what he says he's going to do. Okay, that's why they like him. And if you say he's going to get in there and put a boot in people, he will literally do this. Okay, it's like even when if people don't remember, the first thing he did when he got in office the first time, back in 2017, became the president, first thing he did was ban all those people coming from the Muslim countries, which caused created such a log jam at the airports across the country that nobody knew what to do. People were stuck in customs for days. People were protesting outside of the airports. It was an entire mess. And then in the end, they had to go through the courts, and then they realized this was unconstitutional. They couldn't do it. But it was just the fact that when Donald Trump said, I'm going to do something, he don't care that it messes up things or causes log jams or puts inconveniences people. He doesn't know anything about being a politician. That's why they like him. Because he's just a businessman. They think he's a good businessman, but if you read a lot of books, he's not even
not even that. Oh, heavens. Oh, boy. And this dictatorship, fascism. Fascism, just another word for dictating, a dictator.
Well, it's just another word for business run the government. That's all fascism is. When the businesses make the decision for your life, that's fascism. And the businesses are running so much now, it doesn't seem like a democracy. The businesses are huge. They're not paying taxes. We just had a strike of the longshoremen at these ports across the country. And what was that about? It was about the fact that the companies who run these ports, they like, many monopolies.
Right,
and they can do whatever they want to do. And a lot of people made a big deal about some of them guys make $250,000 a year. But I'm like, do you know how hard they have to work?
To make that.
I mean, their base is $81,000, which is way more than most of us make. And I think the problem with the working man is, you start to look at each other and you like, well, I don't make that much, and you get mad at the other working man. Instead of getting mad at the system.
They're right. They created this problem. Oh, boy. We just have to continue making points that people have not thought about. We have to make points that people have not read about. And we have to continue to make points that people have not heard about. You know, it's. Let me tell you this before we get past, and I forget to tell you. There are Ukrainians coming, and not just into America, but there are Ukrainians coming into Michigan. And there are people from Afghanistan coming, not just into America, not just into Michigan, but in Detroit. And that's special. There's approximately 2,000 Ukrainians in Michigan. And there's approximately 650 in the area of Detroit. 250 of them actually coming into the city of Detroit. But the Ukrainians are hovering in Warren, Michigan. Now, with all this vacant land up Midway and up north, I just find it interesting that they're being brought here.
Well, they put them all over the place. They got to place them. And, you know, they decide where they want to go. The states, you know, decide they want to get that federal money. So some states, you know, pick and choose who they'd rather have, you know, coming to their city. It's just like those Haitians in Ohio, in Springfield, Ohio. Springfield reached out to those people. It said, look,
Right.
we need you here to work for us.
Yeah.
And the people there have decided that, you know, we're going to blame them for our problems.
But that was a legitimate decision. A legitimate decision. And you have Trump and what's his name, Vance,
JD Vance.
lying once again, lie about there being illegal Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, eating their neighbors' pets. You know, nothing could be farther from the truth. And they were trying to do another divide and conquer, right?
It seemed to be
Another
working.
Divide and conquer. Oh, Lord have
Okay,
mercy.
it seemed to be working.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, we got quite a show, Miss Broden, because
We have a
we
guest that
gonna
came
have
in.
Tawana Simpson.
Oh, okay.
She's running
well,
for
let's-
Detroit
let's-
School Board,
Okay.
and she'll be down to speak. She's actually here.
All
We're
right.
gonna get her on at the bottom of the hour, 9:30.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
quite a discussion.
Yes, well, I'd like to move into that because things are just going so fast around here, and we need to hear all of the good news about the good candidates that we can.
Oh, well, I mean, they're candidates, and they know they got to get the word out. That's why we've been a vehicle for them to do such.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing, because you're probably not hearing about too many people running for Detroit School Board out there anyway. I've seen a few clips online, but you got to search them out, and that's the main thing. So,
Right.
folks, you get it right here on radio. You can see.com. That's an important thing, Brother R.J. Watkins.
Oh,
WHPR TV 33. We're in the radio studio with Brother Timothy Smith, the engineer, getting
Yeah.
it done.
Yes.
You know, that's important.
Yes. Yes.
That's the main thing, media, Miss Broden. The fact that you've been doing this for years, the fact that people recognize you when you walk in the door. Everybody know what Miss Broden is. You know, they want to get on the show because, I mean, it's a chance to get some exposure.
And it's good. And they have an opportunity to be at the YouTube section as well. And we encourage people to go to YouTube to see some of the shows that they haven't had an opportunity to see, you know. So we look forward to doing that. Definitely look forward to that. And our school system needs a lot of TLC, tender loving care. Because you can't just allow school board members to follow what the superintendent says. The superintendent is supposed to be working for the school board, you know? And one of the things I've been looking forward to is to have the curriculum to include classes that would be helpful to young people when they graduate from high school. And one of the classes would be civics. They don't seem to teach civics anymore. And then you make you wonder, why not? You don't want them involved? Is somebody trying to control everything? So if we don't educate the students, they won't know that when they turn 18 they can vote. They won't know that if they're 17 right now and will be 18 on November the 5th, they can actually vote. So it would be good to start paying attention and learning about the candidates that we have on the program with us.
Yeah, and I think it's important to have civics to learn to function in government. How does government function? Because we're talking about the 2025 piece. This is when you can start connecting things. If they want to get rid of the Department of Education, what that means is, okay, now we don't have to run the funds through the Department of Education. We'll just give the states block grants. Okay, then just let the states decide, okay, well, they give them the money. So now you got to deal with that situation. We already know the contentious relationship that Detroit has had with the State House here in Michigan. So, I mean, this is the type of stuff that's going to box in a lot of these predominantly black cities across the board. And we already know a lot of these school boards, Baltimore, Detroit, Oakland, New Orleans. I mean, they got rid of all the public schools in New Orleans. Every school in New Orleans is a charter school.
Oh, wow.
And,
And people don't seem to know that a charter school is actually a business. And the bottom line of a charter school is how much profit can you accumulate for the owners of the charter school.
Yeah, you got some that are run by, universities and things. But like you said, the main thing is, they bring in money.
Right. And then the owners know that when the students come in, if the student does not fit the profile that they're looking for, they get rid of them. And if you get rid of them at the wrong time or the opportune time for the charter, then the money that is sent for that student, and I'm hearing is up to $9,200 per student now, that money stays with the charter school, whereas the student goes flailing around and most likely ends up in a public school with no money. Public school has to take in the students too.
Not only that, they make their own rules.
Yeah.
The charter schools,
Yes.
They don't have to have teachers that have to be certified. They don't have union teachers. There's a lot involved with this charter school thing.
But they try and make them really good-looking campuses so the parents will think that their child is going to a very reputable, good-looking facility, and not so.
Well, unfortunately, public schools have not done a great job in, educating our students, which is why we're dealing with an illiteracy rate that's over 50% for black men and women. And this is how you get somebody to come in and say, well, that was the first thing Republicans said. What they need is some competition. That's how we created this charter school message. And that's what we've had. But then again, like you said, their goal isn't so much to educate as it is to make finances.
Right.
And take a lot of this government taxes, your tax dollars, and put them in their pockets.
Right.
Because as much as people say, capitalism, the biggest person that's paying all the bills is the federal government. And that's who puts everybody in business in the whole night. Tim said we up against the bottom of the hour break.
All right. Refresh your orange juice, your coffee. Call somebody. Tell them to tune in. We have Tawana Simpson, who was a former school board member when the emergency manager just shut down everything, including the board. We'll be back momentarily.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broden, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle, Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the chew germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir!
Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broten.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
Take us along with you and participate with us in all of the many things that we do. We have a guest in now, and her name is Tawana Simpson. She's a candidate for the Detroit Public School Board. Tell us, Tawana, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Tell us, who is Tawana Simpson?
First I want to say I'm not a politician. I'm a humanitarian by nature. First I want to say that. I think that's very important because in light of all the political things that's going on around us in this great United States, it's very important that we pay attention to our local politics, local politics, and which is the most important because it impacts you daily, and it just we should always start there. I just don't understand how national politics trumps local politics, but that's one thing about me. The other thing, I'm a former school board member. I was actually a school board member. We called ourselves school board members in exile during the emergency management stint that we're actually still under.
Now bring everybody up to speed on that. What year was this?
2011 is when I was elected, and I was elected to the board under emergency management.
No, keep going.
Okay. So I was that was 2011. I ended my my tenure at 2015.
Okay.
So we were very instrumental in stopping what happened in Louisiana when they came here, and the goal was to turn all our schools into a charter school. Okay. So we fought diligently, you know. I had a crash course in legislation and becoming an attorney, I feel like, because it was a lot that we had to do. It was a lot we had to do to educate the masses quickly, to slow down the emergency management and all the shenanigans and things that they were trying to do. And I just like for the city of Detroit to remember some of those things that happened so that we don't get back there. Remember that in 1999, we had the highest test scores in the state of Michigan. Remember that we had a governor that came in and took our $3.5 billion and then in return build stadiums, build up a downtown that, you know, even our children don't even get free tickets to the games. You know, they get reduced fees, but not free. I remember the day when they had safety patrols, and it was the day where everybody could go to a Tigers game. You know, it was those, you know, a lot of those things, we're not supporting our youth like we used to. And so... which is why you ran the first time. That's right. It is why I ran the first time. Yeah, and this is why my hat is in the race again this time. And I see that some of the same shenanigans is going on. We have... about 22, 23 people in this race.
They're saying 22 right now.
There's time it's not even 22 people in the audience at a school board meeting.
You're right.
Well, Miss Broughton is always there. I know that.
I know that too. I know that because a lot of times I can't be there, and I have the guidance of Miss Broughton. You know, I can call her up and say, hey, what's going on? What's happening?
Right. Her and Helen Moore are fixtures at the school board meetings.
As a matter of fact, there is a school board meeting tomorrow, is it? No. Let's see. The second Monday of each month. Right. So that would be tomorrow.
Well, today is Monday.
I know today is Monday. I'm trying to think of the date. The date.
Okay.
No.
Today is
no.
the
No. That can be right. 4, 3, 2, 1. If October 1st was on a Tuesday, then tomorrow's the school board meeting.
All right.
They meet the second Tuesday of each month, and this meeting will be at Martin Luther King High School.
Oh, my alma mater.
And by 5:30, if you wish to speak to the board or the superintendent, you have to be there by that time.
Well, you know, we've had quite a few people come down that's running for office because we want people to know who's out there.
Okay.
And I think a big thing is, like you mentioned, a lot of people probably don't remember they were trying to turn all our schools into charter schools.
Right. You have to have some institutional memory if you're going to sit at this board to be able to go forward. Because that's sort of kind of what happened to us sometimes. We just, they didn't get it right. We're going to get a whole set of new people, and you kind of, if you don't have some history there or some, remember what happened before, you can tend to make some of the same mistakes or the same moves. I'm not going to call them mistakes. The same moves, because sometimes doing something, repeating something at a different time works, but not always.
And you know, Ms. Broughton, we've spoken about the fact that the current school board, which I felt like that wasn't fair, already gave the president of the school board a 3-year extension.
The superintendent. How do you give
Wait a minute now.
somebody?
If we gonna talk about the rules and regulations here. Let's say it now. We still under emergency management, so that's the Financial Review Board who agreed to that.
Oh Lord!
I did not know we were still under emergency management.
Yes.
How can that?
PA 436 don't end until 2026. And here's something else we need to understand, that when you having these candidates on here and you asking them, you have to point blank and put them on the spot, because it takes the board to take a vote to send their president and superintendent to the Financial Review Board to ask to be released. So that's part of the process. We need to read PA 436. We still need to read it. No, we don't have one person governing us. We got 11 now on top of the school board. So it feels as if democracy is rolling, because we have a ballot, we voted on some people, and it feel like it used to be, but still once a month your board president and superintendent has to report to a Financial Review Board.
Wow. Ms. Broughton, that's that's news.
Wow, wow. But
yeah, I mean, you know, maybe they got some leeway.
Oh no, that's
I don't know. I don't
Let
know.
people know what's going on, because people don't know.
Yeah. Yes,
right.
and you know, we have to meet some barriers, some financial barriers, some some statistics within our school district in order to be able to go to them and say, look, you know, the board has voted that we want to send our president and our superintendent to ask for our freedom.
But you know, because the students are not doing so well right now, is a reason not to extend the superintendent's contract for 3 more years.
Well, they have to. I believe we playing chess here. You have to. They making moves because they know 2016 is coming. And I mean, I'm sorry. 2026 is coming. I apologize. And that, you know, and you know, I don't know their playbook, but you know, I'm on the outside looking in. But I remember when I was there, I remember some of the tactics and how far they went to destroy our principals, a group of principals, our students. I don't know if you guys remember the time when the schools didn't have any heat. Anybody remember that? And the kids was in school with hats and gloves. Right. It wasn't because the system was down. Someone made a decision to allow one boiler operator for 5 schools, and it take 2 to 3.5 hours per school to get the school heated.
Oh wow!
Now is it still like this?
No, it's not like that now. But I'm just telling you how far they went.
Oh, okay.
How far they went to really intimidate the parents and the students and the school board that was in place, because we just wouldn't back down. We didn't back down. We didn't say no. We didn't stop. We didn't stop. I remember a time when they even told us we didn't have access to to one of the schools. So we set up tables right on the corner of Claremont and Woodward. Had a board meeting right on the street.
Wow. Now this is an activist right here, Mr.
You got that right.
You know, and it's just time. It's time for us to focus on our children. I'm gonna give you another fun fact that's not really fun. I shouldn't say a fun fact, but a fact that kind of hurts my heart. We're into the 2nd generation of students that are now parents who did not participate in parent groups because it wasn't allowed under emergency management.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they took the PTA out of the schools, wouldn't allow the PTA, because the PTAs are a separate entity. They
That's
created
the Parent Teacher Association.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, it was created by the two African American women. And then they put something called LSCO, local schools, something put in place. But then those were parents that was picked by the administration to participate. And so it got down to a point where it was just those people who was willing to carry the water of the emergency management or the plan.
Wow.
So now we have parents that's in school who don't remember this, don't understand the fact that they have the power. I mean, you know, I'm with Ms. Broughton 1,000%. We need to have some civic classes. We need to have some financial literacy classes. We need to really have mental health sessions daily. Not once have I heard in our school district did anything with mental health with our children after COVID. We dealt with the mental health of the seniors. We dealt with the mental health of everybody else that was affected. But rarely do you hear anyone talk about the mental health of the parents and the students, because that was a whole lot. You go to college for 4 to 6 years to be a teacher. Now you just put our parents in a position to teach academically through a computer. You know, I mean, I know we had to do what we had to do, and I commend our parents, I commend our students, I commend everybody in the city of Detroit, because at one time we all came together. And it was a weird come together because it wasn't a physical come together because everybody was separate.
Right.
But during that time, there was more communication going on than it is right now during this election process.
Wow.
At least in the community to help.
And we know there's 22 of you guys vying for 3 spots.
Oh, right. 3. I mean, but that was the tactic they did in 2015 election. That election, it was 63 people on the ballot.
For how many spots?
For the 7 spots, because at that point, that's when the legislator changed. Well, no, let me not put it on our legislative body. Emergency management, the powers of PA 436 changed.
Now, who was the emergency? Was that that
we ain't had so many.
Was it Bob?
By this time, no,
Robert,
I think,
Bob.
Yeah, we had. You know, you know what? All our emergency managers had 2 first names.
Oh, wow.
All but Rose, because I don't remember Judge Rose's first name. I just always called him Judge Rose. So you know, he was the only one. But that's when they switched over from 11 board member to 7 when they left DPS, which still exists, to create DPS-CD. And then not only did all this happen, then they changed from a district setting to a citywide. I think is very disingenuous, and it's heartbreaking because school board is not a position where you get staffing. I'm not going to even talk about a budget. You don't get that either, but you don't get the type of staffing you need to really go out into the community and educate like we should. Now, when it was a district, it was easier. You knew your elementary schools, you knew your junior high schools. It was easier to put a plan together within your tenure to keep lines of communication open. But as a citywide elected school board member, that's a whole nother ball
Now, how many
game.
schools do we have currently in the district?
Currently, it's I don't know the exact number anymore because it comes and goes. They change things at one point. And the reason I don't want to say the number because I don't want someone to hold me against it because like some schools, you got 3 schools inside of them. So is that 1 school or 3 schools? You know what I'm saying?
Because I remember when I was on the radio in 1998, we put together a round table of administrators from down there at the school center building. There were 263 schools at that time.
Oh no, we
and I know
we
what is
well
it down to
under
like 40 now or something like that.
Well, we well under that.
Right. So I mean, they done broke it up. You know, you got the one that handles the charter schools now, the Michigan, what's it called? Michigan.
That association.
Yeah. And I mean, people got to understand, education, Ms. Broughton, is politics because it's political.
It's political. It's very political. And the reason we should all be very, very mindful of what's going on, because one of the things that Donald Trump is saying he's going to do is in the Department of Education.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So if he is the Department of Education, then how do we educate our students? Because in our Constitution, on a federal level or a state level, K through 12 is not something that's mandated.
No doubt. Well, folks, this is a hot discussion today. And if you're out there listening, let me give you the phone number. 'Cause I know you
Yeah,
want to
let's
call
call
in.
in. I would love to hear what the callers have to say.
Yes, indeed. 313-365-7379. Once again, folks, write this down. As the BB would say, have your pen ready. 313-365-7379. You got some questions? Because, I mean, you get up to the ballot and you see all these names and they say, you know, vote for no more than 3.
And I'm going to tell you something else. I have to advocate for our men. We have had a board for some times where we have had maybe just one male.
Well, I know it's not one on there now.
It's not one on there at all.
Yeah.
At all. And I believe in balance.
Yes,
I believe in balance. But we have to be very careful when we choosing our men because we got some not so good players.
Well, we got to be very careful with whoever we choose, men or women.
But we definitely, you know, I know that this is not what you do when you're running and you're looking for a vote for yourself. But I'm also advocating for Victor. Victor Gibson.
Yeah, Victor Gibson.
We had him on down
here.
Yeah, I know. I know he's been there, but you know, Victor plays a role that's so important because during that time where there wasn't parent groups and we were trying to figure out how to maintain our school district and keep our parents and children happy, he was in a classroom doing that. He was in a classroom offering African-centered information to parents.
That's right.
And so I appreciate him for that. I do. I do. I remember being on the school board and I would always say, thank God for Victor. Thank God for Victor because at the time as a school board member, I chose not to go into the school districts and talk to the teachers and the parents on that level because it was backlash from that. It was backlash if an administrator or a teacher was caught with a board member in exile. So I really appreciate him, and I call him my running mate. And I know we out here, and I just come from the playbook of the people now. You have to be out here with the people.
And going door to door is more important because people appreciate you coming to just say a few words to them. You know, I hear them. You know, they say, "Oh, Tawana came to my house." Knocked on my door. Okay, sat with me on the porch.
You know, I started something called Politics on the Porch. So, you know, in front of the house, because you know all these dogs and all this kind of stuff, I'd be scared. But I was like, you know, I didn't talk to people through the window, but I, you know, all kinds of things going out. But I'm definitely, you know, a person of the community. I'm a lifelong Detroiter. You know, I lived on the east side of Detroit the majority of my life. As an adult, I moved Midtown and been in place. I've been immersed in my community. I was on the Virginia Park Citizen District Council. I was a commissioner for the Department of Human Services, Area C. But like I say, I'm a humanitarian. Most people know me, know that I'm going to come with a listening heart and helping people. And children are our cornerstones. We have to, you know, hold on to them. We have to show them. As a matter of fact, in this day and time, we really have to follow them because this is such a new world that, you know, we need them to help us guide them. It may sound a little weird, but that's what's really going on. I mean, all of us with the devices, you know, when it come right down to it, we got to find us a kid, you know.
Now, what exactly do Detroit school board members have to do?
You know what? I brought this.
What is their mandate?
Our mandate. I brought some of my literature because I am a certified school board member. So, I'm going to read this because I want everybody to know. This comes from the Michigan. What makes a great school board member? Community typically elects school board members. They are called trustees to oversee the local school district and make certain desires for the community to meet. Okay, they set the vision and goals of the district.
Okay.
You know, set the vision and goals. They adopt policies that give district directions to set policies and achieve goals. Nice. Hire and evaluate the superintendent. So let me slow up right now. So the superintendent that we have now was not hired by a school board body because I was on the school board when he got here, and that Mr. Vitti was appointed by the school board, by the manager, the financial financial manager that we had at that time.
Oh.
Okay, so so adopt and oversee annual budgets, manage and collect bargaining process for employees of the district. So I'm going to go back to oversee an annual budget.
Yes, let's go there.
When I was out here, I heard Ms. Broughton, you talking about the money doesn't follow the student, and which is correct. It does not, unless the student leave in January. But we have to have a plan. We can't. I mean, it's good to say, okay, we know this, we following the money, but they hide behind the fact of zero tolerance. We should not. You have zero tolerance when it comes to our children. What are we really saying? What are we really saying? We have zero tolerance. We saying we giving up when when a kid fall off the bike, we giving up, because our schools should be a learning ground. That's where mistakes should be made. That's where that's where we should harness and love on our parents and students and find a way to help them. I mean, I was the most mischievous student ever. I was so curious. I mean, I did all kinds of things. And what if my parents and administrators and teachers, when I was in school, had zero tolerance and gave up on me? So hiding behind the zero tolerance is we shouldn't accept that. We should not accept that. If you accept the financial money to educate the student, you shouldn't be able to say, I have some zero tolerance.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of teachers in the school, some who retired, and a lot of them trying to get out of the school system. And they're saying that the children today, they don't feel like the parents really care. The children are a little bit unruly, and they're saying, look, and you've had this argument for quite a while now. Parents don't come out to the meetings.
They don't
You
know.
mentioned the PTA.
They don't know to do it, because when they were students, there was no PTA. Their parent didn't have to show up. If my memory served me right, at one point, the DPS was actually paying certain parents, parents to come. So, I mean, who pocket was that deep?
Well, we're going to talk about it on the other side. Ms. Bro, we at the top of the hour. This is a hot show, folks. I know somebody in there chomping at the bit to call in.
Absolutely. And I just want to let everybody know to refresh their orange juice, their coffee, their tea, and call someone to be on the line with you and me. And we'll be back momentarily.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Womack here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
And we are back with Tawana Simpson, a candidate for the Detroit School Board. November the 5th is election day. And for those of you who want to get an absentee ballot, call 861 0190. Lord mercy, 8760190 to inquire as to how you should go about getting an absentee ballot. You can actually go to the clerk's office on West Grand Boulevard. It's diagonally across from the Fisher Building. I like to use landmarks so people know what I'm talking about. And 8611490. Is that the one? 1490. They will tell you that they'll send out an application form for you to fill out and return, and then you can be on the list from now on. They will send a ballot to your home. But November the 5th is election day, and we want everyone to remember that so that you can plan accordingly and be there. We have Tawana Simpson with us in the studio, and she is a candidate for the Detroit School Board and has been on the school board prior, of course, until the emergency manager trick was going on, and all of the school board members will put out the pasture, shall we say. And now it is time that we're having an election for the school board now, and we want you to consider Tawana Simpson so that you have an opportunity to vote for someone who actually cares about the students, who actually is concerned about Proposition 436. And we'd like to think that we could get that overturned. In the meantime, we also have Anthony Brockton with us this morning. And he is someone who has written a book about good black business. And in my opinion, the book should be included in the school's curriculum. Tawana, have you had an opportunity to look at the way the curriculum has been rearranged, and it appears that there is someone or some ones who no longer seem to want our children to be the top of the class?
Yes, we know. Yes. I kind of took the approach that I was going to stand back and look, because being a board member in exile, which I was proud to be, it always kind of excite people, because, you know, we were everywhere doing everything. They couldn't stop us. You know, they just couldn't stop us. They couldn't stop what was supposed to happen. And so that's, you know, part of the reason the next school district was created. And yes, our curriculum is compromised to me. I think there's so many different things that we could do that will bring us up to date. We had a curveball thrown at us during this pandemic, which woke a lot of people up. And, you know, the School of yesterday, probably when we were in school, it's a lot different now. Our children and staff members, and they have access to a lot of things. But at the same time, they're not sharing it all to sharing it to our students. So I think that we should have financial literacy in our schools. I think we should have civic engagement in our school. Now, should it be a whole class, or maybe it should be some type of workshop or something that engages the community with the child? Maybe we do have one program that we don't talk about a lot, is our what do they call what is the advisory group to the city council?
Oh, yes.
And in our charter, it mandates that each one of them have to have a youth.
Oh.
So, a youth has to be on the board. Someone under 18. Yeah, so, we should be, collaborating that fact with our city council, with our student councils.
Right.
And things like that.
Yeah,
and it's those type of things that we're not. We have a lot of these things in place, but we just ain't crossed the bridge with it.
Right.
And going through that whole thing of the financial management and taking over our school districts, it should be, in my heart, whatever we put inside the school district, we should have in our community. It should be complementary to each other, so that we can never be in a situation when, as citizens, we voted for our schools to have X amount of dollars, then someone can come in and just snatch it from us, and then we're just on the outside looking in.
Right.
So I'm of the mindset of preparing for that. If it happened once, it could probably happen again. I would hope that it wouldn't happen again. But if we decide to use the resources that we have in a manner that it will support our parents is hurting right now.
Yes.
Our parents is hurting right now. I mean, I'm to tell the story. I'm doing emergency, doing the COVID thing. I was at home with my grandchildren, and I'm on it. We got the laptop, we got the room set up, everything. Get a call from the teacher, like, where's Akira? Akira's not in class. No, Akira is in class. Akira's in her room. It's in a, you know what the child did? It was just this simple, to skip school at home. Took the laptop and did this.
Oh, wow.
Just closed it up. So, we just, things are different. And we have to really engage our youth. We have to bring them to the table. We have to ask them. We have to, because we're foreigners in this technology world, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let me chime in right here for a second, though, and just say this. Because I do this good Black history component, and the good is what I like to focus on when I speak. The good thing is Detroit is one of the few cities in the state of Michigan in particular that they have not limited the Black history that they do teach in the schools. I had a lady on a show that I do out of Florida, and she says those teachers down there are running scared. They can't even say a Black person did anything without the threat of something happening to them in terms of suspension or completely permanently losing their job.
Oh, wow.
So, true, as you say, we have always room to grow.
Always.
But it's not like it is down in Florida in some of those areas. Like even in Texas, there are a number of states that are limiting the Black history. It makes little Joey and little Annie feel bad, as they say, to know the story. But the story that they don't want to tell is some of our excellence that has happened throughout the years. And that's one of the things that I focus in on my book is some of the good we have Black history stories. That could be told and everybody feel better, and particularly the Black students understanding how great we are. But Detroit doesn't face some of those limitations that many of those other school districts across America face.
So what we do face is a hard time getting the books. Now, we just happen to have the greatest teachers in the world who can articulate that. But in terms of a full-fledged curriculum, it's always been a fight, so to speak. to get the books, to get the things that the proof, the technology. But again, now you got these things. All we got is the kids. All they want to know, they could just go right to this phone or they, and find out. Sure. But I agree with you. We always have been in the cutting edge here in Detroit. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the and I believe that was the attack on us, because not only did we have great people that actually stayed here in Detroit, we had great people that left and went all over the world.
Right.
Let's talk about the Davis Aerospace School.
Oh,
right. Right now, the majority of all individuals that navigate planes, trains, and things of that nature, 70% of them come from Davis and Aerospace.
Right. It seemed like they shut it
with
down.
With a high school diploma, not a college degree.
Right. But it's like they wanted too many black students were accomplishing and moving into fields where they don't want us to. We have a caller on the line who has a hello. Happy Monday.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Thanks for calling.
Good morning. I'm having my tea and I'm watching these.
All right.
Enjoying these two. Congratulations, Tawana. I'm definitely going to, you got my vote.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I know that you have been in the clinches for a while, fighting for our community as well as our children.
That's right.
And I'm just discouraged in hearing that the money, where does the money go if it doesn't follow the children? Because that means if someone wants to come to the school where you are, Detroit, that means the money's not going to follow.
No, let me. If I can explain, so the beginning of the school year, parents send their children to respective schools. Count day happens. They turn it in. School A sent a count in of 100 students. School B sent a count in as 100 students. School A is a charter school. School B is a traditional public school. So when a person leaves, they told us that we had choice. That's why a lot of our parents and everybody in the city was willing to embrace having charter schools and traditional public schools, because they taunted the fact that you had choice. But what they didn't tell you is that your choice would not allow the money to follow the student. So we got school A. A child leaves for whatever reason. Zero tolerance, parent move, whatever. If they go from A to B, then that $9,000 that Ms. Broughton talked about, it stays at that school. It doesn't follow the student. So now it becomes a burden to the next school, because they only budgeted for 100 students, and now they may have 110. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so, and so that put a burden on that school, on the parents that was already there, especially the teachers who have to navigate this, because it really boils down to them. So, that's what we mean. The money doesn't follow the student. But I think after we, yelled and brought a little light to it a while back, then they put in a provision that if they leave in January, and then they prorate whatever's next. But by that time, it's still a problem. And the big picture is one of these school districts will not last. And the one that will not last is the school that's mandated by law to accept whoever comes through their door.
Wow.
So we got a double-edged sword here. We want that. We want to have an open door policy. But at the same time, we need to be financially aware. How do we support that? So how do that look? And then it's another thing I want to bring up, Carla. To elect a school board member to Detroit Public Schools CD, all citizens that live in Detroit can vote. So that means charter school parents can vote. So what is their interest in this?
And why is that they can vote for the public school board members, but they cannot vote for everybody, cannot vote for a charter school board members
So
because
charter school board members are selected by the board of regents of whatever higher institution that charters it. So to have a charter school, you have to have a university to charter you. So we only have 3 universities in the state of Michigan, Michigan State, UM, and Wayne State, that elect their board of regents democratically. All the rest of our universities are appointed, those seats are appointed by the governor.
Well, my next question would be with the curriculum, the things that we need, the most important things that we need is for our children to understand the voting system, their Black history, that they continue to come up with excuses or non-excuses why they just won't do it. Is there any way that we could do after school programs that would include those kind of curriculum?
Yes.
Yes,
They
not?
probably
won't allow it.
I remember in the when I was in elementary school, after school, we had after school programs and people from the community came in. I remember we had someone coming in to teach us self-care, Tai Chi, yoga, and things of that nature. Yes, we can get back to the basics. I think I said that earlier. I think that we need to make sure that whatever happens in our school district mirrors what's happening in our community.
What do you think about driver's training? They had that in the past, and in my opinion, that's something we need to get back to for a couple of reasons. One, because the drivers out here just don't seem to have any respect for what's going on, don't seem to know the law, and these fly-by-night schools that are taking on the responsibility to teach somebody are actually fleecing the flock. They do some cute little thing. You go in, and they say, "Oh no, you didn't park quite right. Come back next week." Or you go back next week, and you have to pay another fee.
Yeah.
Oh well, you didn't do such and such quite right. Come back next week.
Well, we have to figure out what we think is most important to our children's well-beings to be in the school. Because you know what happened, like everything else, business happened. You know, if nothing else, a teenager want their L's. They want their L's.
Let me chime in here in this regard when we talk about per the caller's question of the programs that happen. There are programs that are out there, and I'm sure you know some of the churches have tutorial programs. There are various organizations, Greek or otherwise, that have programs to try to get their students involved. And another one that is probably the easiest one to find is the Detroit Public Libraries. Many of them have reading programs and different activities. And again, it's always the issue of the participation.
That's right, but you know.
So there's stuff in place. And we just need to get our kids to participate.
And you speak at libraries
with their parents.
Right, and you speak at libraries too, don't you?
Oh, there's no question. And I know there was one event that I was speaking at the library on East 7 Mile, not too far from Pershing. And there were 5 people that showed up. Now, not just because of who I am per se, but because just the lack of participation and involvement from the community. The librarian says that she has a lot of activities. And I'm sure Sherwood Forest, I see them doing different things, and many of the others, the librarians know who they are.
Well, I like to shout out.
We just need the participation.
Right, and in the summer, they're open on Sunday.
Yeah, I like to shout out something that goes on in the library that a lot of people don't know about.
What?
You can actually go borrow a laptop and Wi-Fi for 3 months. Totally free. If you're a citizen if you're a resident of Detroit, you have a library card. You can actually go to the library and get a laptop and Wi-Fi for 3 months.
Wow,
that's a good one. I tell you, the other thing is and they're very effective with it, is the main branch. They have a teen hype center just for high school students and younger to come in, and a variety of programs that they do there at the main library. And these are, they're open late on Wednesday And then maybe a couple other nights during the week, but particularly Saturday, they would love full participation. So let's give them a shout out.
Yeah,
and go by there.
I would love to see
Do
Wayne
some
State and the
Right.
and Detroit Main Library and the DIA and all that culture in there come together, because a lot of times people don't use it because there's no parking. There's no parking. Maybe we can, find some parking somewhere, and then people can use that queue line to get there.
Right.
But that's one. It's just some little things. It's not really big things that's stopping us. But I know, using a library. I've always been a library user. I love the library. That's the main issue.
Right.
It's the parking is very, strenuous.
Well, that's downtown, but in the neighborhoods, you can, usually you have a parking lot beside. I know the
some do.
does. Yeah.
Some do, some
Yeah,
don't.
most
Most of them
have a
do.
parking. Yeah.
But
It's,
But,
we
it's
can
just
find
it's just
some
how,
reason to get there. That's the moral of the story.
That's right. That's right. We just got to get more youth involved.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have to
get
get
them
our
involved.
youth involved.
Yes, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
because there's the programs that are out there.
It's plenty of them, but now we have to, to have the mindset to galvanize them, go in and talk to them, and then unfortunately, most of them end up with grants, and sometimes the needs that they have to provide for the grant sometimes keep them outside. So we have to take all that in consideration, because sometimes you can get a grant that says, you only work with churches. I'm just, I'm giving an example. I'm not saying that's it, but but we just have to take the time, which I have done. And whenever I'm out in the community, I always say, I'm a former school board member. I mean, let's talk about how we can do this. But my focus is really, coming up with something like a Yellow Pages. I know that's such an old term, but resources that let parents know. But first, we got to get the parents back in our schools, and we can't shame them for what they do and don't do.
I'll give you another story, and what we need to do is, there are a lot of organizations that have a writing contest. Can't get enough kids to participate.
That's true.
And so I have a Facebook group called Detroiters at Heart. I post all those kind of activities on there and hopefully we're 7,000 strong. They're the different, again, the fraternities and sororities, other organizations, they have writing programs. I know I'm a part of an Optimist group, and we do. That has started up. If you go to businessintheblack.net, you'll see a link to how you can participate in this writing program. And the catch is the winner gets money. So we'll pay you to write a paper.
Money is not as valuable to our youth as having a what would I say, an internet scholarship, cell phone scholarships. Now you talking with them. I talk to them. I'm out there with them all the time.
What does that mean? Pay the internet bill?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Honestly, maybe those gift cards where they buy the games or whatever they do online, things like that. But it's just little things. But I talk to them, and that's a burden off from the parent. Like, if you don't have to pay the internet for a year.
Yeah, I can
or one cell phone line is covered.
Yeah, sure.
It's just how we present it to our youth.
Right.
It's just how because money to them, it's not physical. They don't see the $20. Have y'all been to the store and they don't want to give you your change? You want a penny out of mine?
Right. And if you got 99, that gives you $1.
That's right. They don't value some of the things that we value. It's not right, it's not wrong, I don't think, but it's just how we approach it.
Right.
Yeah. So we need to, unfortunately, to get their attention, we got to kind of follow Hollywood. I almost said the wrong
But again, I go back to
they like to be seen and heard too.
No question, and there are people out there that are doing
and appreciate
things. Such as when you were on the board and others who had a legitimately good attitude towards making a difference. And I know you did.
Actually,
there were good things that you did.
It was a good thing that I did in the community, not as a board member in the district, because our authority was taken away from us. But there were things that we did that I'm very proud of as one of 11.
Right.
And one was stand together, because without us, it would have took the emergency management and the powers that be to break up traditional public school.
Sure.
So there was 11 people that stuck together. Well, I'm gonna say 9 for sure out of 11 that stuck together.
Right.
That wouldn't allow that. So that's something I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
We forced them to have to deal with 2 school districts.
Yeah.
So now we have to go the second round and get them to understand that the money has to be distributed fairly.
Right.
We have to have a level playing ground.
Right.
And I like to, commend again our parents, our teachers, our administration, because after the COVID and they went back to school, our kids are doing well. Pretty much so. But there are some things like I would love to see more mental health protocols set up for our children in the school districts
It's
and
funny,
outside.
It's funny you say mental health, and one of the things that
coping mechanisms. Maybe I want to say that because the kids don't like when you say mental health.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
They, coping mechanisms. Resolution, conflict resolution,
right?
Things of that nature.
Right.
And we need to stop calling these groups of children gangs, because what they really are block clubs.
Oh,
they tell you in their name. Their name tell you their location.
Right. That's a good one. I think though, and this just to piggyback off what you're saying, one of the things that I think in some schools, I know when I went over to Northwestern High School not long ago, the school, for security reasons, had locked doors and chains on the windows, but it didn't look like an inviting learning environment.
Well,
and I think some of what we need to help do is to give it a more inviting environment. It wasn't any art on the walls. It looked, it was just a bland colors. I think that is also part of what could help increase the participation by just being a more warm environment. Possible.
I like to challenge everybody in this room and everybody that's listening. Let's create some paint parties. Because we have to know our school buildings are over 100 years old.
Yeah.
So the majority of them are. So let's have a paint party. Let's go in and do it. Let's go paint the cafeteria or a main hall, and put it together.
Right.
Who wouldn't want free labor?
Yeah, well that's a good idea. And I know they're building some new schools. The school that I went there, the grade school, Halley, 6 Mile and Linwood. Is being torn down for a new building.
Okay.
And I think that there are a couple others that are in the works that are really, very nice looking buildings.
We have to be careful.
So we have to work with that angle too.
We have to be careful. We need the community on those committees for that, because when they did that for Martin Luther King, it's the exact floor plan as Jackson Prison.
Oh, wow. Well, what we need now, we're at the end of the program today. And our guests today, Tawana Simpson and Anthony Brockton. Will you give us, Tawana Simpson, contact information for those who wish to support you?
Yes. You can reach me by telephone, 313-422-3617. I have an email address, which is simpsont2611@gmail. I'm really a community person. I'm from the era of social dynamics. I talk to people. I go, I'm still learning how to put all that other stuff together, but you see me out in the community.
Right, and if they have any meetings that would invite you to, you
please do.
Be open. Okay, now give the telephone number and the email once more, please.
Simpson T, SIMPSONT 2611@gmail.com and 313-422-3617.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace. And Anthony Brockton, your contact information, please.
Everybody, this is the book that I've written titled Black Business Book. It's good black history of rich black people that lived in the 1800s and enslaved black folks who went to college. and how enslaved black people gained in education. I invite you to get a copy of that on the website, businessintheblack.net, and it's available on Amazon. And businessintheblack.net is where you can contact me. Good Black history. And I thank you again for having me on your show and to meeting you.
Certainly.
And I could feel the enthusiasm you have for what you're doing. The best of luck in your efforts to rejoin the school board. I'm sure that you'll do a fine job. And everybody, let's just keep in mind that there are things out there that are already in place. Just go.
Right.
Sometimes they give you a free water, a banana, or maybe a little bit more. But nonetheless, and it doesn't take long. Please do this. All right. Thank you for having me.
Oh, certainly, all the time. And I want to let all of you know that we appreciate you tuning in each Monday at 9 a.m. to Hood Research program called Feedback, a positive image production. And to get in touch with Hood Research, we have an email, which is contact@hoodresearch.org. That is, again, CONTACT, the little at symbol, HOODRESEARCH.org. And I say at the end of the program, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research invite people on this program with us to help share as much information as we can and encourage you to do the same. The phone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. Once again, the phone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. We also will be having a meeting this Friday at the Munford Marine Center. The Munford Marines Detachment 158, located on Joy Road. The address on Joy Road is 13721 Joy Road. 13721, 13721. The meeting is from 6 p.m. until 8. We're also planning to have a tour of Wayne County Community College, their medicine building is what I call it. And they have opportunities for you to use that facility, brand new facility, to walk, to exercise, and to enjoy what Chancellor Curtis Ivory has provided for us here in this community. Wonderful. Tune in again the next week. Peace.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.